The most recent episode of Star Wars Rebels revealed some new history for the Mandalorians, mentioning the first Mandalorian Jedi and the creation of the Darksaber. But how many other Mandalorian Jedi were there? I'll be covering that in today's video with Canon and Legends answers. Tarre Vizsla is the Mandalorian discussed in this episode. He was said to have been part of the Jedi Order over 1,000 years prior. He created the Darksaber, a one-of-a-kind weapon similar to the lightsaber. When Tarre died, the Jedi Order kept the Darksaber locked away until members of Clan Vizsla broke in and stole it back. It became a symbol of power on Mandalore, and the wielder of the blade was seen as the leader of the Mandalorian people, but more specifically House Vizsla. So far in canon, Tarre is the only known Mandalorian Jedi. But the fact that he's referred to as the first would suggest that there have been more. I'm hoping this is one of those things the story group is playing the long game on, building towards a larger story involving the ancient Jedi and hopefully Tarre Vizsla. But I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole right now, so let's move on to Legends. It's important to note that Mandalorian culture is somewhat different in Star Wars Legends. While there were Mandalorian people, the term Mandalorian wasn't exclusive to just that race. If outsiders embraced the Mandalorian way of life, they were welcome to do so. I mention this because in Legends there aren't any examples of pure-blooded Mandalorians that were inducted into the Jedi Order, but there were multiple examples of Jedi that became Mandalorians. The oldest example is the Mandalorian Knights. They were a group of Jedi Masters that followed Revan in the fight against the Mandalorians in the Mandalorian Wars over 4,000 years before the events of the Star Wars films. But the members of this group had come to think the Republic was corrupt and began actively sabotaging their own side. They defected and embraced Mandalorian culture, took up the name the Mandalorian Knights, and swore allegiance to Mandalore the Ultimate. Barton Jusik was a Jedi general during the Clone Wars, serving with Omega Squad and the Mandalorian Cal Skirata. He earned the respect of Skirata and the Mandalorian clones. He grew to oppose the continued creation of clone troopers, feeling that the Republic and the Jedi Council were breeding slaves. He resigned his position in the Order and joined Clan Skirata as a Mandalorian. Thanks to his resignation, he survived Order 66. The final character I want to talk about is Vinku Skirata. He was the son of a clone trooper and a Jedi Knight, so he was a Force-sensitive half-Mandalorian. He was never a member of the Jedi Order, but I think he's at least worth mentioning. Interestingly, he was adopted by Cal Skirata, and he was close enough to Barton Jusik to consider him to be his uncle. Those are all the examples we currently have of Mandalorian Jedi. So Tarre Vizsla is actually breaking some new ground for Star Wars as what sounds like the first pure-blooded Mandalorian Jedi Knight. I can only hope we continue to learn more about Clan Vizsla's history with the Jedi and the Old Republic. But that's it for today. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out my Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.